Hey people, what's up? What's cooking? Are you all doing? How y'all doing? A pleasant evening to you, oh people. Like I love to ask, are you driving home from work? Are you still in traffic? Um, I know how it works in the north. We don't really have traffic. So if you're watching from Lagos, you're most likely still in traffic, perhaps, and I hope you're able to focus, drive safely, and still be able to follow through with this life this evening. If you're home and you're probably in the kitchen, you're cooking, chopping carrots, chopping onions, whatever it is, please take care of your fingers. We want you to follow the live, but at the same time, we want to make sure that you are safe. All right, so very important. All right, this is the R for M Studios, and I am prolific, and it's a delight. Always 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 a delight to be on the live show, simply because I know you guys are going to be also on the live show, sharing ideas, sharing perspectives, and that's how we actually do learn, right? That's how we do learn. And just like I always love to say, I always have to keep repeating this because I understand that we have new people who get to join us every time we have a live show. So I don't assume that everybody is an old subscriber or an old follower. So I always like to reiterate the very core of this live show. So this live is not a monologue. This live is a dialogue. So what makes it exciting, what makes it fun is the fact that you are actually conversing. So I'm sharing ideas with you, and then I go through the comment sections and I get to see your perspective. I get to see what your thoughts are concerning whatever it is. All right. So please do well once you join. Do well to let us know where you're watching from. Okay, let us know where you're watching from, and then go ahead also to share this live video. Share the live video because there's so much value coming from the R4M Studios, and every other person needs to learn, needs to enjoy, needs to be entertained, needs to be educated. Same way you're getting free value right here from the studio. All right. So yeah, I have one person already on YouTube and is already saying what's up, how y'all doing, is saying hello. R4M family, give a shout out to our man, my man, Jerry Aboki. How are you doing? How you doing? What's up? What's popping? What's popping? All right. So I'm going to go all the way to Facebook. Okay, we still have a couple of people coming on the live show on Facebook, so we're going to just buy some time. Yeah, buy some time. So just a few notices. For those of you who are just joining for the very first time, you would know that we'll be running the photo contest. Yeah, we'll be running the photo contest, and we're already at the very final stage of the photo contest. We're at the very final stage of the photo contest, and it's just been really beautiful. It's just been really beautiful being at the photo contest. And we've had friends, family, foes, enemies, winchy people. Everybody have been rallying around the contestants, trying to make sure that they actually win the star prize of 1 million naira, and we also have the 200,000 naira and the 100,000 naira, which is for the runner-ups, right? So everybody has had their hands on deck. So that's what we'll be doing for the past 3-4 months, and now we're at the final stage. And if you've pushed your people, if you have contestants who are your relatives, please do well to push them some more. If you guys have gotten to the final, then this is really not the time for you to lean back. Now, this is not the time for you to lean back. All right, so please give it your best shot. Give it your best shot. All right, so we have one first like on Facebook, but we don't have a comment. Please, if you're watching, because we have a lot of silent followers, right? We really don't want the silent following. We want to hear you, want to feel that sensation. So please do want to comment so we'll know that you are with us, not just on the same page, but on the same paragraph. All right. So yeah, we'll have an interesting topic tonight. If this was a classroom, I would have asked, how many of you remember what we talked about yesterday? And then, you do revision and all that. And so, yesterday was one of my favorites. Yesterday was one of my favorites of the live shows. And what was the topic about yesterday? The topic was how to fan old flames to fire. How to fan old flames to fire. And it was really beautiful because we have a lot of people who actually are still in love with their partner, but then they don't know how to retrace their steps back and and get back the juice that they used to enjoy and get back the passion and the intensity. And so yesterday was just one of those major, we had very good feedback from people up until this morning. I got feedbacks from people who were like, thank you so much for this particular topic because it helped us. It was practical. It wasn't just theoretical. It was practical to be able to rekindle the fire in their relationships. And part of the things we talked about, I'll just do a very quick revision. Part of the things we talked about, the first thing I said was don't move on, retrace your steps. Don't move on, retrace your steps. You don't assume everything is going to work out in your relationship once it's beginning to go sour, once it's beginning to go south. You don't assume. You pause and then you retrace your steps. You find out where it is that you missed it, right? You find out where it is that you missed it. You don't just move on. You don't just keep doing stuff and then you get the same result. It doesn't work that way, right? So we talked about that extensively. We also talked about listening. And we said many times we don't know how our partners feel because we're talking more than we're listening, right? We're talking more than we're listening. And then we said listening is the doorway to understanding, right? And then we also said that understanding, oh my God, I'm enjoying this, And we also said that understanding is knowledge simplified. Remember, for those of you that were around yesterday, we said understanding is knowledge simplified. Understanding is knowledge personified. What does that mean? It simply means this. And I gave an analogy and I said, if you're in nursery school, you don't teach you how to make sentences. They teach you alphabets. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Yeah? So they teach you that in nursery school. Why? Because you need alphabets to create words. And then you need words to create sentences. So they don't teach you sentences, they teach you alphabets. Then when you get into primary 2, they begin to teach you how to create words from alphabet, and then from there you graduate to making sentences. So knowledge is like sentences. It's not alphabets, but it becomes simplified when it becomes alphabet. So we have so many people who go for seminars, so many people who read so many books, yet they don't have an amazing relationship. They don't have an enviable relationship. And that's because life in itself is dynamic. Life is not just a straight jacket thing. Life is dynamic. You have to understand the knowledge you have received. So it's not just about learning. It's not just about acquiring certificates. It's about understanding, right? I also went ahead to give us an illustration, and I said I've dated two kinds of women, and dating dating a creative is different from dating. Let me not call the name. So I've dated a woman who wanted to go to eateries, but not just the Nigerian kind of eateries. She didn't want to do Mr. Big. She didn't want to do Chicken Republic. She wanted to go to very exotic, cafes. Like for those who live in Jos, there used to be Cafe Latte. Cafe Latte was a British Junction. So she loved Italian restaurants. She loved Spanish restaurants, right? And so that was it for her. So it was about the ambience. It was about how the place looks, the petals when you're walking in. It was about the kind of music. It was about the texture of the light for her, right? So that's her thing. So when you try to take such a woman to the park to look at nature, it doesn't work for her. She's like, this is for small children. But then I tried that with one lady, and I tried it with another lady who was a creative, right? Now, the creative. Now, the other lady is a foodie. She's a foodie. So not just is she a foodie, she also loves to do restaurant reviews, right? She loves restaurant reviews. So restaurant was it for her, not a park. But then I now dated a creative who wasn't a foodie, but she loved nature. So she wanted to do things like go to a lake, sit, on the grass, and put her leg in the water and just think. And that sounds boring, but you see, that's the thing about understanding. So you don't use one approach for one lady or for one guy. for the next person. You have to understand your person. And then very importantly, I also said yesterday that you don't love people from how you perceive them to want to be loved. You love them based on how they desire to be loved. Very important. You don't keep loving people because this is what you think or this is how you think they should be loved. You love them based, you try to understand how they appreciate being loved, and then you begin to love them. And then when you do that, they also learn to compromise for you and then find a perfect balance where they can begin to love you and you meet at a point of equilibrium. So there's a whole lot. I'm not going to take all time. So please do well to go on our YouTube and subscribe. You will see the videos of what I talked about yesterday about how to rekindle old flames. Is very important. It's very important because we have a whole lot of people who are just they're just marking time, really. They're just marking time. So but you can actually fan to flame. There's just so much to say. We were talking this morning with the management of R4M, and we're tempted to actually have a part 2, but I guess we'll do that next week, right? So we could just treat a totally different topic today. Woo. Are you ready for this, guys? Let's do this. Let's do this. So my Facebook people, I'm still waiting for you. We have just one person. We have the lover boy, the king, the KOB, the king of besties. Yeah. Mr. Paul Toleron Jewish online people. He says, good evening, farms. How you all doing? Yeah, what's up? We doing A-OK. Paul Toleron Jew. How you doing? Paul Toleron Jew. It's good to have you online this evening. Paul Toleron Jew goes on to say, me, I'm here to know if my relationship is about to end. Paul, are you talking about a relationship or your besties? Your besties? We need to be sure. All right, we need to be sure. So yeah, tonight what we're going to be talking about very quickly, we're going to be talking about how to know that your relationship is coming to an end. But you see, yesterday's topic and today's topic, you can actually connect it, because when you now know that your relationship is about to come to an end, you can actually now implement the things that I taught you last night. Do you understand? So what that means is that we're not prophets of doom. We're not saying that just because you notice your relation is about to end means it must end. No. You can have a bad dream and you can pray about it and you will cancel whatever it is, right? So just knowing that your relationship is about to end doesn't necessarily mean it's about to end or it's going to end, except you don't want to take steps, right? Or except your partner is really not interested. So, all right, we'll have a second person on Facebook. I beg your pardon. On Facebook, we have Rex Davies. Sometimes they wonder, this Rex Davies, is it Nigerian? Or is some Oyibo? Are you a Oyibo? Because your first and last name, me, Rex Davies. Okay, whether na Yahoo boy, just go carry person name. Can't do copy and paste. Rex Davies. Don't worry, very soon we're going to be having a call in so that we'll be checking your voice. All right, Rex Davies says, hello, my people. How are you doing? Hi, Rex Davies. It's good to have you on the live show of R4M Studios. You are welcome. I hope you do share with us what you think are the things that you can look out for that suggest that your relationship is coming to an end. All right, so I'm going to be taking the first comment from YouTube. So I'm traveling back down to YouTube. So we have Jerry Aboki. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have another person on YouTube. She is a darling. Hi, baby girl. What's up? How you doing? Blessing. It's good to have you on the show this evening, right? It's good to have you on the show. So Jerry Aboki starts by saying, R4M family, how you doing? My few points. All right. When person say my few points, just know say you want to hit you hard. All right, Jerry Aboki says, my few points. There won't be any trust any longer. Interesting. There won't be any trust any longer. And that's so true. Thank you so much, Jerry, for that. That's so true. There won't be trust. One of the signs that your relationship is coming to an end is that there won't be trust anymore. And in my notes, I made a mental note, and I was going to actually talk about trust. And I'm going to tell you guys what trust actually means in a poetic way. But yeah, so thank you so much, Jerry Aboki. There won't be trust. I totally agree with you. Jerry Aboki also goes on to say that communication will be cold. Yes, some communication will be cold. Communication will now become like when you make noodles in the night and eat it in the morning. Mm-hmm. 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 When you make noodles in the night. I know some people will be like, ew. Now you sabi. Well, that's how I eat my own noodles. I don't eat hot food. I don't like, so yeah, and I've done it a few times. I make my noodles in the night and then I eat it in the morning. Yeah, whatever. I'm not a weirdo. Right? So communication can be that way when communication becomes cold. When communication is no longer in the blanket, when communication is sleeping outside in the winter, on the street in the cold, trust me, you're heading for the rocks. That's most likely you're heading for the rocks. Gerald Boki goes on to say that not supporting each other again. Yes, not supporting each other again is another sign. It's another sign of, a fallout. It's another sign of a fallout. And I just want to say this before we go on and say that relationship is, as we know already, relationship is about two different kind of people, two different people with two different backgrounds, two different personalities, two different temperaments coming together to try to make things work, right? So I'm saying that to say this, that you already know this, but you need to know it again. It's not every relationship that leads to marriage. Sadly, I wish every relationship leads to marriage, but sadly, not every relationship leads to marriage. Sadly. So, but you see, you also need to understand that it is not every communication that goes cold that suggests that you guys are going to hit the rocks and you're not going to recover. In fact, sometimes relationships become relationships become sweeter when they hit the rocks sometimes. Yeah? You know that popular saying that says that there's no other direction to go when you go down, where you're like flat on your face, right? The only direction is to go up. So that's the same. So when you have that perspective that, oh, my relationship has hit the rocks, you can actually take it back up. All right. And if you want to know how, just check out the video from last night. All right. Gerald Boki also goes on to say that lack of attention, very important, especially if your partner's major or predominant love language is quality time. Especially so, if it's quality time and the quality time is dwindling, if the quality time is dropping, I can assure you, you're heading for the rocks. And there's no singular answer to this, all right? There's no singular, and I need to say that because I've been in those shoes where I began to give my woman less time, right? And it was assumed that I was giving that time to someone else. Now, I've heard people say stuff like, if your man or your woman is giving you less attention, it simply means he or she is giving attention to someone else. It's not always the truth. It's not always the truth, right? Life is dynamic. It's not always the truth. Sometimes, I know people like this because I am one of such people. I'm one of those people who likes to internalize and I'm not saying it's a good thing, all right? I'm working on it. There are people who have a way of they feel like they are bugging their partners, all right? They feel like they're bugging their partners, so they don't want to always share every struggle they're dealing with. So they want to be strong, they want to be there for their partner and deal with their issues alone. So sometimes you don't even notice that you're beginning to detach. Sometimes you don't even realize that you're not giving your partner the attention, and for someone like me, I don't know how to pretend. I'm straight like this. If I invest you, I will tell you invest you, and it don't die, it don't end. It will never come back. If I tell you I love you, I love you. If I tell you I love you, you can't tell me, are you sure? Oh, I don't bounce. I don't get energy. They say men of this generation, they are lazy. Now you should be say you should wait on the babe. You should try. You should go 6. What am I toasting for 6 months? Hello, life is happening, right? So I can be that straightforward. No, babe, I did feel you. What's up? Let's do this. Let's build a serious relationship. If you don't feel me, thank you. I respect your decision and I bounce. Right? So that's me. But, lack of attention sometimes can be interpreted to mean that there's someone, and truly, sometimes there can be someone who is taking the attention, but sometimes it could just be personal issues that your partner is not voicing out, which is not a good thing, by the way. It's not a good thing, because that's why you're in a relationship. You should be able to share. Same way I talked about having personal goals and having couple goals. You should be able to find a way to merge those things, all right? So let me move on. Jerry Aboki also talked about always being aggressive. This one, let them not come for me. I was going to ask, is it women that used to do this one, or men used to do this one more? When you could just look for the slightest thing to just vex, so that this guy, one come out straight say, babe, I'm not feeling this relationship, let's break up. You could just find one thing where go just make una quarrel, So yeah, when you're beginning to have more arguments than necessary, you most likely are heading for the rocks, right? So Jerry Aboki also went on to say that, and lastly, there will be loss of interest. Oh, Jerry, I beg who born Jerry? Jerry said there will be loss of interest to, God, I beg. God, I beg. He said there will be loss of interest to sew and buy and co. But he has a point, because yesterday we talked about how to fan to flame, and he said that one of the ways you can spice up a relationship and fan the old flames back to fire is when you wear anko. As funny as it sounds, it could have a psychological effect, right? It could have a psychological effect. So, okay, so let me just be done with YouTube, and then we'll go to Facebook, and then I'll share some of my thoughts with you guys. Like I love to say, the live show is about you cross-pollinating ideas, all right? It's about cross-pollinating ideas. So I'm learning from you, you're learning from me, all right? That's how we grow. And remember that R4M stands for having to bridge the knowledge gap. All right, so we're not just interested in you talking about love and having to make you meet someone that you're in love with. No, we're not just interested in that. We're interested in you staying happy and maximizing your relationship. And that can only happen via knowledge, the right information, right? So we have this comment. Okay, Blessing says, she can't wait to know how it's about to come to an end. All right. So yeah. She goes on to say that very true. Most mistakes people in relationships make is trying to handle stuff on their own. Unconsciously, you find yourself detaching. You can't even explain why, and that's so true, Blessing. That's so true. So, and part of this thing is because a man. When I say a man, I'm talking about both male, female, humanity, mankind. A man is spirit. A man has a soul. A man lives in a body, right? So when you begin to have soulish challenges, and you don't address it from the roots, it begins to affect even the people around you. It begins to affect you. See, have you noticed that even people who are really depressed, many times they don't know they are depressed? It takes people to realize that they're beginning to detach. It takes people to realize that, and one of the signs of depression, we're not talking about depression tonight, but let me just touch that. One of the signs of, sounds like coming from a veteran, yes, who has dealt with depression for years. So depression, one of the signs of depression is that the person begins to talk less. The person begins to become unusually quiet. So if the person used to be the life of the party and all that, suddenly the person is just in the room and you don't even realize he's in the room. All right? So that's one sign of depression. And so it's a soulish thing. It doesn't happen in your spirit. It happens in your soul. What is in your soul? That's where your mind is, your reasoning, your thinking faculty, your emotions, right? So when I don't deal with that aspect of me, whoever I'm in a relationship with is most likely going to suffer for it. And worst off is if your partner is not even sensitive enough to deduce it, right? So when I say not sensitive enough to deduce it, I'm not saying your partner should be winch, right? I mean, you can't just know what a person is dealing with except the person tells you. But you should be able to know when your partner is beginning to detach. And when you notice it, you don't approach your partner confrontationally. Yesterday I said something, in the life yesterday. I said, if your man hurts you as a woman, if your man keeps hurting you, it's because a man is strong. A man is strong. If he's physically strong, I agree. A lot of marriage counselors will tell you that men are babies. I totally agree. I'm one. You see, but when it comes to projects, men can push. Men can carry heavy weights. Men can this. Men shoulder a lot. That's the truth. But emotionally, they might not really be able to. So, if your man keeps hurting you as a woman, confronting that man will not be nice. That's the truth. But you see, when you confront that man emotionally, this is part of where you hear statements, the Nigerian slang, where you hear things like woman rapper. Sometimes it's not a woman rapper thing. It is that the woman understands the psyche of a man. So she understands that if I'm going to approach this man and we're going to have an argument, he most likely will win me. So why don't I fall back on the edge I have over him, which is emotions. Now, let me say this quickly. Every human being has an emotion. I really need to say that because some people just feel that women are emotional, men are logical. No. Men and women have emotions. It's just that they express emotions differently. All right? Let me not go into that. So a woman approaches her husband emotionally. She's able to win him instead of losing him. All right? She's able to win him. So that means, and it's both ways. Sometimes it's your woman who is getting detached. If she's a student, maybe it's a supervisor giving her issues, and she feels like you're going to work, you're dealing with a lot. Why should I come and talking about supervisor? And I've also suffered this in my relationship where I had someone I was with, and I felt terrible. I felt terrible because she said something to me that really broke me. She said, "Why are you thinking for me?" Because in my own corner, I'm thinking the things I'm dealing with, they're not that serious. So why should I come and be bugging you when you have I want to say serious issues? I was just like, why are you thinking for me? Why don't you just throw it? Just let me know first. Then if I can't handle it, I'll let you know. And we keep seeing these mistakes in relationships, and it really causes a lot of friction, right? So let me quickly dash back to Facebook, and then I'm going to share a few thoughts with you guys, and we'll begin to draw the curtain for the night. All right, but I really hope you're learning. I really hope you're having a great time. I really hope you're having a great time. All right, so I have a few comments on Facebook. We have gosh, why do I have this kind of followers on this show? So Paul Toloronji says, I am not a singular. The best thing done day. It never tire you. Continue. Please share your experience as a veteran, Paul Toloronji. Share your experiences because we know you have plenty, all right? So Rex Davis has this to say on Facebook. Rex Davis says, when you suddenly lose interest in your partner at times, this is another sign that your relationship is about to end. And I totally agree. When you lose interest, and I'm going to touch on that when I begin to share my personal thoughts. When you begin to lose interest, and honestly, sometimes losing interest is because there's somebody else. True. Because there's something, and let me quickly say this. Some people can relate to this, except you're really disciplined. Whew, if you're dating someone who's in another state, no matter how you guys talk about, it's different from when you have a guy or a lady who you're working on a project with in the same office. Especially if that guy or lady is your, in quotes, your spec. Why do I say so? Because you already know this, or maybe I shouldn't assume you know this. Because, as they say, attention breeds affection. Attention breeds affection. That's why you think you don't feel a thing for someone until you start spending time with the person. That's why you think this person is not my spec until the person starts doing, starts being there for you, starts, those acts of service. You need someone to help you carry this, and the person is there. Oh God, I'm at work, and the way bill came in earlier than I expected, and I need to get it from the park. And then the guy just, don't worry, I'll do it for you. That's what friends do. But over time, you begin to think, okay, maybe this guy likes me. Or maybe it's a lady. Maybe you're the guy and you be bachelor. It's just a try. You know, in the morning, you wake up late because you slept late. You woke up late and you are rushing to work. You're trying to cook and it's just not cooking. And then you just dash to work. Oh, okay, maybe I'll just get snack. And then you're all just moody and all that. And then this babe just cooks the first time, cooks the second time, and she brings you food. Even if you know the reason her, you can start thinking, say, now what's material of this now? Now what's material of this? So you see, attention is breeding affection. The affection wasn't there, but the attention is breeding it. So, but then you have somebody who is living 4 hours away from you in another state that you are not seeing physically. It has a way of making you begin to lose interest. Sometimes, and please guys, don't get me wrong. This is not me trying to justify cheating. I don't believe in cheating, all right? This is not me trying to justify cheating, but I'm just talking about the human psychology, the human nature. Sometimes people are not really bad people. Sometimes people are not bad people. And I can tell you, I don't want to take time in that, but you see, one of the points where you lose your partner, please get this, one of the points where you lose your partner is at the point of vulnerability. Take it. Take it. Take it. One point where you lose your partner is at the point of vulnerability. Now, what do I mean? You can be gisting with your partner, oh, the day is good, that's not when you're bonding, no. Guy, that is not when you're bonding. It's all those calls, those text messages, oh, babe, you're so sweet. It's good, keep doing it, but that's not the bonding. The actual bonding where you can lose your man or lose your woman is at the point of vulnerability. What do I mean? For instance, the babe loses her sister, and that's when you are now busier at work. My guy, another guy will fill up that space. Because at that point, her guards are down. She needs comfort. She needs, is it sukona? She needs a presence. She needs someone to be there. I've been in a family where they were all girls, they were all women. There was no man. And then it wasn't comfortable for me, but I just thought to myself, how are these people going to go through a vulnerable moments like this, especially in Nigeria, where people like to take advantage of people? And so, what stuff, you now go to the village and then you see one uncle, he's trying to do one thing, he's trying to corner resources, he's trying to, or maybe they're demanding goats, they're demanding, and the woman just has to play along because this is her husband's brothers and they're way older. But you see, it's a different ball game when probably she has 3 daughters and one of the daughters is married and there's a man around. So if you have bad uncles that want to exploit or siphon money, they go arrange, because why? Man there around. So there's that thing about being at a vulnerable state. Or it could be the man losing a job. It could be the man losing a job. I've seen a lot of people lose their jobs and they never used to take alcohol, but the moment they lose their job, they just become drunks, right? Because they're trying to run away from a sadness. And as they're running away from a sadness, you see, it's the same thing in psychiatry. Any psychiatrist will tell you that in psychiatry, you don't exactly how do I say this? You don't exactly break addiction from drugs. What they actually do is that they wean you, WEAN, they actually wean you from a particular drug and get you hooked on another drug. But you see, that doesn't even happen immediately. Now, they don't wean you like, what I mean by wean, they don't snatch you, they don't stop you from taking a drug and start giving you a drug. No. You have something called withdrawal syndromes, right? Or withdrawal symptoms, I can't remember now. So what happens is, if you were taking, let's say, a tablet of 500 milligram and you were addicted to 500 milligram and you took 2 tablets, which was 1000 milligram, what they can do is they can begin to step it down for you to 500. After maybe a week, they will step it down to 250. They'll step it down to 100. So as they're stepping it down, they're introducing a new drug to you. That's the same thing that happens in relationships. Many times when people are sick, emotionally sick, or emotionally empty or emotionally craving for someone. And that's where you also have the thing called rebound in relationships, where somebody just breaks up and another guy they show him attention and she could just fall for the guy. She might not fall for the guy like she fell in love, but she could just, oh, I'm getting attention, and she sleeps with the guy, they have sex, and then the next thing, she's feeling bad. And she's like, how did I get here? What was I thinking? What was I doing? I couldn't have end up with such a guy. It is because there was a void. There was a void. And especially in Africa, I see so many people do macho and deny the fact that they have emotions. If you're a human being, you have an emotion. You have emotions, not just an emotion. You have emotions, but yeah, you could suppress some of them. It doesn't mean they don't exist. So you have to look out for those points of vulnerability with your partner so that you represent, you fill that void properly. Now, in filling the void also, you could also, You could also repel your partner when you don't understand when your partner needs to be alone. Sometimes your relationship is heading for the rocks because you're not sensitive to know when your partner needs space and when you need to be there. So when your partner needs space and you are forcing yourself to be there, you most likely will drive your relationship to the rocks. When your partner needs someone and you are trying to give them space, you are most likely leaving the door open for someone else to come in. I hope that's simple enough. All right. So sensitivity now plays a key role. All right. Sensitivity plays a key role. So let me take a few more, and then I'll just share a few personal thoughts with us. I've not even shared my thoughts. I mean, you guys have been amazing. You've been sharing, commenting, beautiful, so beautiful. So Paul has this to say. He says, well, I'm here to learn. Which can you learn? Oga, share your experience. You're a veteran. Paul says he's here to learn, but there's always this sign of disconnection between two people whenever their relationship is going down. I don't know if it works for everyone, but for me, I always feel it, and it helps me know what to do. If not to cut and waka, go, or spice up the fire. All right. So Paul, also please do us a favor and let us know, how do you know the one to cut and waka go, and how do you know the one to spice up? All right. But that's so true. There's this intuition that people have when they know that this relationship is already heading for the rocks. You just know. All right. You just know. It's not a function of gossip. It's not a function of a third party saying stuff to you, whispering whatever. No, it's not gossip. You just know. You just know. The things you guys used to do together, even if you still do it, it comes with a lot of struggle. It comes with extra planning. It comes mechanical instead of being fluid and spontaneous, right? So you just know, and I totally agree with that. All right, Jerry says he has a question. I'm trying to find the question. I just saw a pop-up. Jerry said he has a question. Question. All right. So sorry, my comment is still coming up, but I really hope we're having a great time. So Jerry says, so I want to hear from your own side. Most of the times I argue with my friends and I normally tell them that, okay, I'm trying to find the preceding comments before that. You cheating, it is when you are married and going ahead to have another affair with someone that is cheating. Okay, so that looks like Jerry's question. So Jerry is asking, all right? Jerry is asking, and please feel free also to share your answer, all right, to answer anyone. So Jerry is asking that, sorry, my network is a bit slow. Jerry is asking that, okay, sorry, it's popping up now. So Jerry says he has a question. So I want to hear from your side. Most of the times I argue with my friends and I normally tell them that you cheating, it is when you are married and going ahead to have another affair, with someone else that is cheating. But if as long as you are single and eventually crushing on somebody or liking someone or even dating someone else apart from your partner, it's not cheating because you are still single. In brackets, Jerry said not engaged. You are still in the zone of searching for the better one. So what's your view on this? All right, Jerry, thank you so much for your question. Um, Thank you so much for your question. And this question is good you asked the question because I'm sure there are people out there who also have the same question or they have the same view. All right. So in a nutshell, Jerry is asking the question and he's saying he believes that cheating only happens when you are married. As long as you are not married, you are not cheating. You are free to, I want to say gallivant. You are free to pick anybody at any point that you feel like, as long as you're not married. In bracket, he said engaged. So Jerry asked for my personal view, and I'm going to share my personal view with Jerry. All right. So this is my personal view, and you don't have to agree with it, but this is my personal view. Cheating doesn't just happen in marriage. In fact, in marriage, it is not called cheating. In marriage, it is called infidelity. Yes, adultery, infidelity. That's what it's called in marriage. Why? Because you've exchanged vows. The two has become one flesh. Right? So, it is not called cheating. It is called, this generation where they try water so many things down. So, in marriage, it is actually called infidelity, which is adultery, right? Not fornication. It is adultery when you leave your spouse and go with someone else in marriage. So, but when you're seeing someone, let me simplify. When you are seeing someone, right? When you're seeing someone, how do I say this? It is not until you get engaged. And let me put it this way. Why do you have to tell somebody, I love you, I really love you, and I want to build a serious relationship with you? And then you guys are beginning to go on romantic dates. She probably knows your parents. You probably know her own parents. You're not engaged though, but your family, they know you guys are dating, right? They know you guys are dating. Then you now see another person that you like, and you now say, waiting, this one fine pass. This one I'm more of my spec. I'm going for this one. Then you now bone down. The first question I want to ask is, for how long can you do that? And do you even realize that you are breaking hearts that will come for you in the future? Right? So cheating is not only when you're engaged. In fact, let's talk about that word cheating. Cheating simply means not being truthful. Cheating means double standard. So I'm telling 6 girls that I love them. That's cheating. You don't have to be engaged first. You see, but I understand what you're saying, Jerry. When you now say that, because you're trying to still make a decision, that's a different context. Now, if you're trying to make a decision, then you shouldn't be committed to one person. I don't know if that makes sense, Jerry. If you're trying to still make up your mind, okay, and that happens, okay, that happens. It happens both men and women. You could have 4 people at the same time that are attractive. They have everything that you like, right? It happens. So the best thing you should do is not to get committed. It's not to get committed. There's a level of attention you shouldn't give to a woman. There's something about stirring or awakening sleeping love. There's such a thing as awakening sleeping love. So why are you awakening sleeping love when you are not sure if this is the person you want to be with? I don't know if that makes sense. So it is when you awaken a woman's love, especially the ones that they don't even send you. They look your side. Then you can't lead them on. Then they're like, oh my God, Prince Charming. Then they follow you. Then you just say, I beg. Then you now move on. You now say, I see, I'm not engaged to you. I don't owe you. No, that's not infidelity because you're not married, but that's double standards. All right, that's not being a man of your words. So this is what I would say to you. Feel free to check out who you want to be with. All right, I was going to use the word explore, but I know it's a very ambiguous word and people can misinterpret it to mean something else, so I won't use the word explore. But feel free to go on dates. Feel free to check out the lady. She might be fine, but she might not inside, she not get the character where they look for. So feel free to do that. All right, I'm not saying don't do that. Feel free to hang out with, have friends. Let me put it that way. I have lady friends, all right? I have lady friends, and there's no one that will say, this one, you dey give this one attention past this one. No, you are all my friends. I don't try to arouse your love when I'm not sure about you. I could tell you I like you, and I will be quick to tell you that, but I am not ready for a relationship. I could tell you, I don't want to lie to you, I don't want to waste your time, but I'm attracted to you. I'm not in love with you, but I'm attracted to you. I might not even have to say that. I could just keep you as a friend and just keep observing. That's different. But you see, when you're already in a relationship with a lady and your eye dey chook elsewhere, Baba is cheating. You don't have to be engaged, you don't have to give her a ring. It is cheating. I don't know if that makes any sense, right? So that's my view about it. So cheating happens in dating, all right? In marriage, it is called infidelity, all right? So let me just share quickly a few thoughts. Damn, we're almost out of time. So let me just share a few thoughts with us, a few thoughts. I love this. It's a little bit poetic. I try to water down. I'm sorry, I'm a poet, but I can't help it sometimes. So I said, when words become vapor, one of the ways you can know that relationships is hitting the rock. Number one, when words become vapor, and that's figuratively speaking. When words become vapor, what does that mean? I went on to explain in my notes. I said, when your words and actions don't align, you are lying. When your words and your actions don't align, you are lying. Okay? When your words and actions don't align, you are lying. So that's one of the ways you can know that a relationship is coming to an end. When words become vapor. What does it mean for words to become vapor? It means that your words no longer carry weight. When words no longer carry weight, when you say one thing and you don't do it, or you do the opposite, you're most likely headed for the rocks. When he keeps promising you, I'm going to come and see 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 you, I'm going to come, I'm coming, and he never comes to come and see you, but he's hanging out with his guys, you're most likely heading for the rocks. So when words become vapor, right, when they no longer carry weight, which is as a result of when words and actions don't align, then you're lying. That's one of the ways you can know that your relationship is heading for the rocks, right? And then I went on to say that you must move from being a person of your words to be a fellow of your works. I said part of that yesterday, that your words must merge with your works for your relationship to work. Right? Your words must merge. Let me put it this way. Words don't exist without thoughts. Thoughts sponsors words. Words sponsors actions. So when your thought pattern is wrong, there won't be a synergy between your words and your actions. It will be disjointed. All right? It will be disjointed. So become a person of your words and your works. If you can't, I'm telling you, tell your man, tell your woman, I can't. They will respect you. They might be hurt, but they will respect you, that you're a person of your words. Okay? Another way you can know how a relationship is about to come to an end is taking sides. Taking sides. Lack of support. Taking sides. See, this one very sensitive. When you are dating somebody, you know, there's that thing about, and it's in Nigerian cultures, and I like it, where your brother, it happened to me when I was growing up. I've always said this time and again on our lives, where I had my sister fight for me more than my brothers fought for me. I've said it over and again. My sister was the warrior. So when boys, they beat me for the street, now my sister, they come fight. My brothers don't send me. You know, I even said it on her birthday, and one of my brothers concurred that it's true. He still thought that true. So, you see, your family comes to fight for you. They don't even bother. I mean, somebody, they deck your brother, carry bottle, break your brother head. They carry stick, they hit your brother. You they drive, see your brother. Will you park and be saying, oh, please, let's be civil. Why are you hitting his head with bottle? No. Your natural reaction is that you are going to fight back for your brother. That's the natural thing. Before you even try to find out. So if police now comes and say, why are people fighting? This fight went to the extreme. You now say, oh, I don't even know anything happened. But hello, that was my brother's head you broke. What was it that you guys couldn't talk about? You see, it's a natural thing. Now, let's bring it to relationships. When I'm in a relationship with a woman, or you're a woman in a relationship with a man who is in public, always taking sides with his friends against you, check him. Check him. Check him. It's loyalty that is questionable. Now, don't get me wrong, let me balance it. It doesn't mean that if your man is wrong, you can't correct him. You can whisper to him, you could pull him, you could tug his shirt, you could say, babe, calm down. And then later, you'll be like, babe, you know, say, sha, you know, try. But you don't do it in front of his friends. You don't. Am I saying you should support bad things? No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, when you begin to, especially consistently, when you consistently begin to take sides with your friends over your partner, you're invariably saying, I don't have your back, I can't have your back. Do you understand? You're invariably saying that. And it's going to result, ultimately, it's going to accumulate and result into lack of emotional support. All right? So, let me run. We're almost out of time. My mental note here says, when curiosity, sorry, it might sound a bit poetic. When curiosity takes a nap, NAP, when curiosity takes a nap, partly this you could bracket, you could put this under interest. When curiosity takes a nap, you know, when you meet someone for the first time, you're so excited, you guys want to talk, you talk to 3 a.m. and you are supposed to resume work by 6, you talk till 3 a.m. That excitement, that curiosity of where are you from, how many siblings, when's your birthday, what's your native name, another. When curiosity takes a nap, you're most likely heading for the rocks. But let me balance it and say this. I understand totally that when you are dating someone, right? When you're dating someone, there is every chance, there is every tendency that you would begin to have routines. For instance, you know when your man closes from work, you know when your woman closes from work, you know at social time they might probably be visiting their aged parents or whatever, or on Tuesdays she goes to church, on Wednesdays he goes to mosque. Do you understand? You know those routines because you've dated for maybe say 8 months. So you know your routines. So that happens naturally in relationship. But it doesn't mean that because you're beginning to have routines, your routine should kill your curiosity. So if I just live in my relationship having the routines, right, and then the curiosity is no longer there, there's nothing exciting, there's nothing interesting me about my man, about my woman, then we're almost heading for the rocks because there's nothing spicing it up. All right. And so the last thought I want to share with us because of time, the last thought I want to share with us is not taking responsibility. Not taking responsibility. Not taking responsibility. Finger pointing. Not taking responsibility. So you have the man saying, oh, it's the woman. In fact, some people even go as far as some people go as far as saying, Dama, that's how your tribe is. Dama, ladies from this tribe, that's how they are. That's how you know, or the lady is like, I cuckoo knew it. Before I even said yes to this man, I knew people from his local government. That's how they talk. And then when you do that, you've just exonerated yourself completely from seeing a possible fact that you have a hand in why your relationship is heading for the rocks. So not taking responsibility is one of those ways. When your partner is seeing more of you are the problem, he or she probably wants to just break up and doesn't know how to tell you, all right? So I'm going to take the very last from YouTube and Facebook, and then we'll draw the curtains for tonight. So Jerry says, anytime I'm opportune to date, I always don't fail to tell my partner that if luckily she finds a man that wants to marry her at that moment, please let her go ahead. She should not wait for me. I don't want to be a person wasting your time. Badwana. Yes, and that's a noble thing for you to do, Jerry. And I agree with you. I agree with you, but you see, and that's why, how do I say this? That's why it is not, we don't date for fun. I think I need to say that I should date. Why? What is it about dating? Why do you even date? You date because dating is about knowing a person. Even though I know in this generation now people believe that dating should be about having sex, but see, dating is about knowing a person. Dating is about being in certain different life scenarios. How does this guy react in this case? How does this lady react if this happens? Dating is about knowing a person, basically, right? It's about, so dating is not a life sentence that I am with you, I am with you. But you see, this is my personal view. You don't have to agree with it. I feel that if I'm not ready, let's say if I'm not going to get married in the next 1 year, I feel I shouldn't waste your time. But you see, the wasting of time is even dating in the first place. Let's say I want to get married in 3 years' time, and the girl wants to get married in 1 year time. Why am I dating her? If I know I'm getting married in 3, why don't I just wait till 2 years' time? Then I'll date for 1 year, get to know her, and then I get married. All right. So, and then for you to even tell your lady, if you see person will go marry you, go ahead and marry. My brother, you're just trying to say that me, if I see a babe way I like, where, and I never even ready to marry her, I'll go hustle, marry her, knock I'll leave you. What you're already doing is you're already instilling lack of trust in your relationship. You're instilling lack of trust. Now, it's a totally different ball game when your woman wants to leave you as a guy. And you're like, babe, how about, but we have something beautiful. How about, but babe, I'm doing my best, but babe, how about? And when you try to bring all of those reasons and she refuses, it is a different thing when you say, you know what, I love you enough to let you go, to get married to a guy who probably even loves you more than I do and will take care of you better than I do. Now that is love. But I cannot be in a relationship and you are the one suggesting to me that, Omo, as a bimba, everybody dey hustle. If you see babe, if you see guy, Omo, knock out. If na wetin dey look, no. You're already showing lack of trust and it's going to haunt you. All right, so I wouldn't advise that, all right? That's just me. I wouldn't advise that. And I also wouldn't advise, like I said, if you're not ready, don't date. Keep her as a friend if you're not ready. Because why would I want to keep a lady for 5 years and I'm not ready? Of course, if she finds someone, you see, you even now put her in a dilemma because she now finds someone, but she still loves you and she doesn't know what to do. So it's a dilemma for her, all right? So, but that's about it. All right. So we're wrapping up. We have Semalkovic coming online. Okay, and he has a few PowerPoint comments. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Semalkovic, he's none other but the General. The General's online, and he has this to say. He says, interest reduction and silence. Yes, interest reduction. We're talking about some of the signs that shows that your relationship is about to end or is heading for the rocks. It says interest reduction and silence. Interest reduction and silence. The complaints will reduce because the other person is fed up. The complaints will reduce because the other person is fed up. You see, human beings are just different. Some people will complain because they are tired of you. Some other people will just lock up. Indifferent. Whatever you do, okay. Yeah, okay. They are done. There's no point complaining. There's no point telling you, why don't we try like this? But why you, babe? But whatever. Okay, when you tire, break up. I know we'll break up, but I don't move on from my mind. All right. So yeah, that happens. Thank you so much, Mr. Mo, for sharing that. He also goes on to say, who is that relationship? Who is that relationship? What the flip are you saying? Why are you like this, Mr. Wu? I was not even understand. I just got what he was trying to say. Wait, who is that relationship? Who is that relationship? Who is that relationship? I may choosing. Yes, so your wife will choose you. Your wife will choose you. Your wife will choose you. No look at Jesus. Your wife will choose you. Yeah, chosen indeed. All right, you're chosen. And please, now that sounds like on a lighter note, but let me say seriously. Please don't be in a relationship where somebody is managing you. You're not a project. Don't be in a relationship where somebody is managing you. Let the person be excited to be with you in that relationship. All right. I understand that it's not every day that there will be excitement. There are days you feel like you're not in love, and it's normal. All right. It's normal. But please don't be in a relationship where they are managing you. All right. So I'm going to check Facebook, and that's the last we're going to take for tonight, and we're done with this live. I don't know if do we have new comments. New comments. I don't think we have new comments on Facebook. Do we have new comments? Okay, we do have new comments. All right, so let me check. All right. All right, Rex Davis says, when your relationship goes strike. All right, that's actually a movie, a beautiful movie that we love in The Office. And it's titled Booker Girl, and I think I've recommended it to. As I saw that movie, I've been telling everybody that cares to hear, and I've said it on the live show. Please go and watch Booker Girl Part 1 and 2. Beautiful movie. All right. So sometimes when you notice your relationship is about to end, go on strike. Just try if you can get the phone number of. I love this activist, Mr. Omoele Sowore. Amazing guy. I love him. Nigeria government say that they look for him. They want to arrest him. Chamo, nobody force him come back in team. They arrest him for they fear anybody. Activists. So you can go on strike in your relationship, especially when you notice that they manage you. Go on strike, but no say na Prolific send you. Don't come and be crying. Say, oh, my heart is breaking. I'm missing my boyfriend. Prolific, come and cuddle me. I'll not cuddle you. So when you are going on strike, chop liver, do it to your full chest. Rex, why will you be talking about going on strike here? Go away. All right, so Mr. Mo also said on the Facebook Live, he said, she or he starts seeing other persons more interesting than their partners. Very true. Suddenly, you begin to see small things from another person, look or seem more interesting than what your partner used to do for you. Just know he's heading for the rocks. Some partners even go as far as voicing it to the person they're dating. So you are with your partner and your other significant others, they say, begins to, every time you go say, that's how Choma can cook. If Choma cook come office like this, one part of my nose go chop half of the food before she serve me the food. And your baby is just wondering, me, when I'm coming, it's only cookies I used to buy for my boyfriend. If cookies no the whole belly, then Choma when they say they for office, they cook food. I don't lose now. So sometimes we're not even sensitive, sensible, and caring enough to be voicing these things. All right. So if you're doing that, you need to check it. Mr. Mo, you say who's your relationship? We don't know. We just know that you are choosing. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we stretched a little bit, and that's partially because we started late. We apologize for that, but I trust it's been a beautiful night. It's been an energetic night. Jerry had so much to say, and he's somebody I look out for always in our live shows. Jerry has so much to say. I don't know, maybe he's eyeing 3 girls at the same time, and he's looking for Prolific to say, go ahead, because me too, I don't used to do it too. But please, have female friends, okay? Have female friends and choose. Don't be under any pressure. And just on the final note, this is not part of the topic. I see people make this mistake. I made that mistake too. When you meet somebody you really love, and before you get to know that person, you're already having a date to marry, you mess it up. You mess it up because you'll be under pressure to perform. All right. Let me give you another instance. It's like when you ask a lady, please don't do it. When whether a guy or a lady, you ask, as a guy, you ask a lady, what do you like in a man? It sounds like it's sweet conversation, but you know what? As she's telling you what she likes in a man, unconsciously you begin to want to role play and be who you're not to please the girl because you like her. So it's pulse communication. It's good you come as you are. Whatever rough edges you guys have, you tackle it. So you don't begin to discover things that you did not plan for in marriage. All right? But this is all we can take for tonight. I wish we could go on and on and on, but you guys have been amazing, and truly we've been able to cross-pollinate ideas tonight. And beyond just talking, I really hope we're taking notes. I really hope we're making adjustments where we need to make adjustments. If you've not been giving your lady attention, or you've not been giving your man attention, not be only ladies, men too need attention. Men need pampering. I said it, men are like babies. Forget all the macho and the muscle. All right, we also want pampering. Please, if you need to rekindle your love, also watch the live show from yesterday. All right, and take the notes from there and apply it. Except your partner is adamant and stood his or her ground to say, I don't want this relationship, then you can just let them go. All right, but please don't let anyone manage you, and you can have a beautiful relationship when you get ready for marriage. This is all we can take for tonight. Thank you so much for following through. We don't take your presence for granted. On behalf of the management and staff of R4M Studios, we say a very big thank you, and I remain prolific. See you next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Thank you. Ciao.